With the launch of Act 2, we got a chunk of new content, new battlegrounds, new stories, and some new weapons, including the topic for today's video, CORRASION, a brand new arc pulse rifle that feels so good to use. I mean, its design, sight, and sounds are so well done, and the rolls that it have are pretty solid, on top of also just having a really good origin trait. Now before we get into the video, if you guys do enjoy the content, a like and sub would be greatly appreciated. Any support goes a long way. Thank you guys so much. So, CORRASION is a brand new craftable arc pulse rifle that you can obtain from seasonal engrams at Failsafe. It's also part of the new frame of heavy burst pulses, just like Nullify and Aisha's Care, and these things are feeling pretty damn good in PvE right now. Now the rolls this thing can get are going to be in the third column, High Impact Reserves, Perpetual Motion, Enlightened Action, Eddy Current, Pugilist, Perfect Float, and then Air Trigger. In the fourth column, we have Focused Fury, One for All, voltshot, Swashbuckler, Frenzy, Eye of the Storm, and then High Ground. In the third column, I'm mostly looking at Enlightened Action, Eddy Current, and High Impact Reserves. High Impact Reserves could be really interesting because it's another damage perk you could use alongside something like Frenzy for a double damage perk roll, since Frenzy will also give you that max handling and reload speed on top of the damage buff it provides. Now, Eddy Current is actually a pretty solid option now since the buffs, for just really arc builds in general, since now being amplified gives you 60 reload speed flat, which I think is really solid, so I wouldn't overlook this perk if you are an arc subclass enjoyer. But my number one in the third column is going to be Enlightened Action, since it provides a scaling reload and handling buff, granting up to 50 of each stat at max. While yes, it does take 12 stacks to hit the max, it's still just so easy to use since you quite literally just need to hit stuff. That's it. Nothing extra. It's just such an easy, solid perk. Now in the fourth column, you have a bunch of solid options, but I'm looking mostly at Voltshot, One for All, and then Frenzy. Frenzy, of course, for the double damage perk roll with High Impact. One for All, since it's just such an easy high damage perk to use. All you need to do is just hit 3 targets, but of course, there's the underlying problem. If there isn't 3 targets, then it kinda is useless. Now for me, Voltshot is just so good on this weapon and is my number one pick because it just adds AoE damage to this weapon, making it a great workhorse add clear weapon, which is really all you want on primaries these days, with new activities boosting enemy density higher and higher. The Enlightened Action plus Voltshot roll is the one I crafted, and man, it feels really damn good to use. It hits hard thanks to all the buffs Pulse's got going into the final shape, and really any weapon that has Voltshot is just immediately S tier in terms of ad clear, since it can just spread damage to enemies like crazy, and also chunk higher health enemies. Now, I know all the hype is going into the new Solar Sidearm for good reason as well, because it's really good, but don't overlook CORRASION. I think you will be pleasantly surprised with how solid this weapon actually is, and I mean, come on, it looks sick and just sounds really cool as well too. But anyway, let me know how you guys are feeling about Act 2 so far. Personally, I know it isn't the largest drop of content, and the story stuff being spread out for 3 weeks is still kind of annoying, but I really actually am enjoying the new battlegrounds. I think they're pretty damn fun, and I'm excited to see what the third one is, because the enemy density on it is good, and expert mode is really fun. Big fan of it. Anyway, hope you guys all have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you guys next one. Peace.